What is going on, y'all? It's your man Mike Titan, the gaming savant, here with my co-host Bryan Greer, and today we will be recapping the Dallas Cowboys Week 2 game against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys won 20-10, really should have been 20-3, but they gave up a late garbage time touchdown. But the biggest story, and quite possibly the most hurtful for the Cowboys this season, Tony Romo broke his left collarbone in this game and will be out for the foreseeable future. There's not a timetable out yet, but most people are predicting maybe 6 to 8 weeks, maybe even the whole season. Bryan Greer, what did you think about Tony Romo's injury in this game?
Oh, it was basically tore my heart out. I'm just speechless about that. Actually, I kind of actually think it was a dirty play by Fletcher Cox, because if you look at that, he didn't have to just really basically do a whole pancake flop on top of him waiting to get injured. And it was just a really ridiculous play in my opinion. But yeah, it's going to really set this team back as far as offensively. And I believe that this team now is going to have to become a defense first type of team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I saw the play, and as soon as I seen him about to get tackled, I was like, something bad's about to happen. Now, do I think he probably could have got rid of the ball a little earlier? Yes, I do think this was one of those small chances where Romo tries to make a play out of nothing instead of just, throwing the ball away. Or hell, even an interception would have been better on that play than having him injured. But that's just how it is in the NFL. But going over the game, Cowboys win 20-10. To me, this was, first of all, it was an ugly game, penalty-wise.
So.
I believe the Cowboys had 18 penalties in the game. You just saw holdings, defensive holding, pretty much any penalty you can think of. And it was a very dirty game on both sides because both teams had their fair share of penalties. The Cowboys, I think, more so than the Eagles. But to me, I still feel like the Cowboys, I'm not going to really say dominated this game, but they did prove that they were the better team. DeMarco Murray, at one point, I believe he had -9 rush yards. I think for the Yeah, people saying it's not the offensive line, it's the running back. Well, I mean, there was a string. There was a string. I believe we got a little bit of something. Yeah, exactly. I want to say there was a string maybe in the first or second quarter where the Eagles ran two, I would guess you would say, draw plays out the shotgun, and as soon as DeMarco got the ball, Tank Lawrence was there. Next play, Jeremy Mincey was there tackling him in the backfield. So this just goes to show that maybe it was the line, maybe it wasn't. It either goes to tribute to show how good the Cowboys offensive line was, or how bad the Eagles offensive line was since they got rid of Evan Mathis. I think the other guard, Haramis, who I think went to the Chiefs. But yeah, it was a rough night for DeMarco running. Now, passing wise, I believe he had 50 or 60 yards out the backfield on passes, but as you and me both know, DeMarco Murray isn't the best receiver. He's more used as a power back. But do you think that Chip Kelly is using DeMarco right in his offense?
No, because you have to have a run blocking first offensive line, and they do not have that. This is a spread offense. And I don't think people realize that DeMarco Murray is a power back first. He goes and hits the second line of defense, which is the linebackers and secondary. Once he gets out there, he's phenomenal running back, but he is not using it right. Because he saw the run blocking scheme. The linebackers were able to get out there. Jeremy Mincey was able to eat up DeMarco Murray all day. DeMarcus Lawrence was able to eat him up. I don't know what Chip Kelly's doing, because I think you're right. People were laughing at you for saying that the Eagles might be one of the worst teams in the NFL. No, I think you're onto something now, and you deserve kudos for that, because you were the only one, honestly, who saw that in the preseason.
Exactly. I mean, I just think of it from a pro football standpoint, because I've been watching football for so long. It's all right, you run a spread offense. That's fine. You can run a spread offense, but you pretty much gave up the perfect back for your offense, LaShawn McCoy, for a linebacker who's now injured. Kiko Alonso and Michael Kendricks both got injured in the game yesterday. Probably two of their best defensive players. And then you give it up for DeMarco Murray, who's a power back, but not necessarily somebody. He's not going to make anybody miss. He's going to run through somebody before he puts a move on somebody and makes them miss. And you can see that was apparent in this game. It was hard for him to get yards running. The line just did not block for him. The schemes didn't really work for him. And I don't know. It's just at one point he had -9 yards on 12 carries. I mean, at some point, you think it would click in Chip Kelly's head. It's like, all right, this isn't working. Let me try going under center, or let me try putting an extra blocker in the backfield or something. Because when you have, it was funny because I saw on Instagram, somebody posted a picture, not a picture, but a list of all the quarterbacks that had more rushing yards than the Philadelphia Eagles overall yesterday in Sunday's game. And it was pretty much 60% of the quarterbacks in the league. I mean, Tony Romo was on there. Tom Brady was on there. Matt Stafford was on there. So I just thought that was kind of funny that somebody posted, like, all right, here's all the quarterbacks that had more rushing yards by themselves than the Eagles total. And it just goes to show
they have
that
Ryan Matthews and Darren Sproles.
Exactly.
So that's what makes it really funny, because those are two elite bats too. That's not like those are two scrubs.
Yeah, exactly. Those are two backs that could easily start for anybody else in the league. Now, why Ryan Matthews decided to sign with the Eagles, I don't know. I don't know if he thought he was gonna be the starter, and then let's get DeMarco too. I don't know, but yeah. So, but going back to the Cowboys, I feel like the Cowboys played great on all the other facets of this team, facets of the game, like the punt block for a touchdown. You had Kyle incredible Wilber play. Incredible play, and then we got to baptize their kicker on that play too. So that was pretty much how they got the first score. Then of course they got some Dan Bailey field goals. But to me, I feel like the defense played very, very well in this game. Sam Bradford, I don't know who he was looking to when he tried to throw that touchdown pass in the end zone, but he literally threw it in the gut of Sean Lee. And that's another player that we forgot to talk about. Sean Lee was pretty much the Sean Lee that we loved him to be the past years back before he got injured. And I want to go and say that he did an amazing job in this game. I feel like he's going to be the captain of this defense. He's going to be the person who's going to have to get these guys ready to play every week. But you just saw him. He was making tackles. He had that interception. He had a touchdown saving tackle on Huff in the third quarter, I believe, when he was pretty much wide open and he just had to beat Sean Lee. Sean Lee got a shoestring tackle, but he still stopped that touchdown, which proved very good because they didn't score on that drive. And I just want to say kudos to him. It's great having him back, and I love what they did moving him to outside linebacker, because pretty much in the 4-3, you're an outside linebacker. You have a defensive tackle in the left end in front of you to take up blocks. So now whenever you see Sean Lee, 8 times out of 10, he's free to, he doesn't have to take on double teams or fullbacks anymore. Now he can just look and see, and he can avoid danger, which what I said in the preview show would be very good for him, because that'll allow him to stay more healthy, because he's not taking on double team blocks, or he's not taking on in the middle of the defense, taking on fullbacks on running plays. So it was great to see him playing like he used to play, and I'm looking forward to seeing him playing like that some more.
Yeah, you said it all. I mean, that was one of his best games of his career. He was everywhere. That interception, like you said, I don't know if Sam Bradford had double vision or needed my glasses, because that was a horrible play. But then it was just a great game by Sean Lee in the defense. Also, DeMarcus Lawrence and Jeremy Mincey was in the backfield all day long. Just a really tough game. But I'm going to make a statement here. I believe that with Greg Hardy, Randy Gregory, and Rolando McClain come back, this will be a top 5 defense and can carry them all the way. I never thought that, but after yesterday, I think so. People were saying that the Philadelphia Eagles were stopped by the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons were not bad this year either. With Dan Quinn as the coach now. So it shows you. I think this team is going to be led defensively now. They have to be, and I think they can win games on the defensive end. I really do. I think this team is just that strong on defense. They get up the field on the offensive line of teams and can just really stop teams. And Morris Claiborne, he is playing. Can't believe it. I got to be loud and shout this out. I never thought about it, but you got to give him credit. He's holding down his end of the field, no penalties. Hey, It's all good right now as far as I'm concerned, besides Tony Romo injury and Dez Bryant. But yeah, you got to give it up for Mo Claiborne.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like going forward with this Romo injury, this is, like you said, this is going to be a defensive first team. I don't know I know what to expect, but I don't know if there's going to be any any up in production with Brandon Whedon at the quarterback. Of course, he had that long touchdown towards the end of the game to Terrence Williams, but that was pretty much an all-out blitz. And boy, when I tell you, Byron Maxwell is probably going to go down as the most overpaid, overhyped cornerback to ever come to Philadelphia. First it was Julio Jones, and now this game it was Terrence Williams, and I don't know. It's you know what? I had a friend.
Just find him if you're the offense. Just find
exactly.
him.
And now I bet you all the games going forward, all the other teams are going to target him. But I had a friend tell me that because he was a Raiders fan, so he told me that Byron Maxwell is making Nnamdi Asomugha when he played with the Eagles look like Deion Sanders, which it's saying quite a lot. Because if you know about Nnamdi, you know he didn't have the best time in Philadelphia either. After they thought he was going to be, their next cornerback savior, but that's just going to show that it doesn't always matter about who you sign. It's more about what defensive scheme you're in. And it is clearly easy to tell that Byron Maxwell does not fit this defensive scheme. He was pampered and covered in Seattle because, he had the Legion of Boom behind him and that great front seven. But now that, you don't have such a great secondary and you only got Fletcher Cox pretty much, on your front seven, it's like, things aren't always the best when it comes to that. But like I said, with Brandon Whedon at quarterback, I want to say just because of the way they ran the ball that they can win some games. I know somebody was predicting they hope if Romo's out 6 weeks they can at least go 3-3 with Brandon Whedon, which would put us at 5-3. So I'm optimistic. I just feel like it's gonna be the run game and the defense that's gonna have to carry this game. I don't feel like I hope that we don't have Brandon Whedon out there throwing the ball 40 times because that's gonna just impede doom for our team. I feel like that the Cowboys are going to have to play kind of like the 2000 Ravens, hope that the defense can stop them, and then they just hope that Whedon doesn't turn the ball over. I feel like the games going forward is going to be a lot of close games for them to be successful. A lot of 17-10, maybe 9-6, maybe 9-0, 9-3, just a lot of games. I don't feel like the offense will be as good with Romo, but I feel like that they'll still be able to put up some amount of points. Joseph Randle, I gotta say, ran great today. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of him, but the way that there is so many plays in this game that he should have been tackled for a loss, but he either put a move on somebody or gave a second effort and got a positive gain out of nothing. So I will say that Joseph Randle does look really good. Darren McFadden even looked good in this game. There are some times we had runs like that as well. So I say if we can get this running back committee going, bring in Christian Michael as a third option or activate him, then I feel like through those three backs, we can just run them until the defense gets tired. And then, like I said, hope that the defense can stop the opposing team because it looks like that we're going to have to rely on them for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. They're going to have to become a smash mouth, physical, power run team. You just can't go out there, like you say, and have Brandon Whedon throw the ball 40 times because that's just going to result in a lot of failure, I believe. And exactly. They're just going to have to be patient. For the next 8-9 games, they're just going to have to be patient. This is not going to be pretty football. The fans are going to have to realize it. They just have to win games. Every week, just win. Somehow, just win the game. And that has to be their goal every week now because winning by style points is not an option right now.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be a lot of gritty, like today's game, a lot of gritty, ugly games, but they're just going to have to find some way to pull it out. I will be interested to see how they play against Atlanta this upcoming week. As you know, Atlanta beat the Giants. Yes. They were down 20-10, came back. Julio had another amazing game. Matt Ryan played well. That defense played well. So it'll be interesting to see because Atlanta just beat the two teams that the Cowboys just beat, the Eagles and the Giants. So it'll be interesting to see how those two teams will clash. It'll be real interesting to see how they plan to stop Julio because, as you know, we saw in the first 2 weeks, Julio was just eating up NFC East defenses left and right. So that's going to be very interesting to see. What do you think of the upcoming matchup with the Falcons and the Cowboys next week?
Yeah, this game right here is going to be all about trying to stop Julio Jones, I believe, because they also don't have a real good running game with Tevin Coleman and Devontae Freeman. When Devontae Freeman is more of a kind of a pass catching running back. But yeah, this game right here, they're going to have to double cover Julio Jones and not make him a factor, and just hope that Roddy White doesn't go off or anything, because the Falcons are also stout on defense. I don't know why people are saying, they're getting lucky or whatever. That game against the Giants yesterday, they showed in the second half that they can now stop teams. And this is going to be a tough game because the Falcons, like you said in the preseason, that they're going to be a good team. So, yeah, this is going to be another ugly game, I believe. And they're just going to have to just hope that Mike Ryan throws a couple of interceptions and just, like I said, grind out another win.
Very well said. Very well said. Well, I think that's going to do it for our recap. Bryan, you got any words to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want to give an invite to a couple of former Cowboys that you might hold near and dear to your heart, Mike. Quincy Carter, Drew Henson, and Chad Hutchinson. It might be your time to come back with the Cowboys now that Romo's on the sideline for a little while. And I am offering my services to you to be your agent. So just hit me up on the Blitz or on Twitter at crunch_TYME, and we can work something out because, hey, I've done a lot in my life.
Hey, that's good, man. As long as you get that 10%, that's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for.
Hey, I'm not being greedy.
Okay, then. Well, that's going to do it for us. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Unrivaled Multimedia. Check out all of our social media links down below in the description. I'm Mike. That's Bryan. And we will catch you guys in the next episode of The Blitz. Peace.